YouTube, greetings and salutations. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the importance of carrying cash in when you are traveling overseas. So I'm going to start with a text. I'd say it's always important to carry cash, even if they accept cards or sort of like some kind of cell phone payment in the country that you find yourself in. This because you never know when an emergency might pop up. It's always good to have cash. Don't bring all of it when you're going out, but definitely bring some. For example, if you were getting robbed abroad, you could give them cash to get them to go away. If you didn't have cash to give them, they might take something else, and it's a bit awkward. Like, oh, I'll send you a transfer, then you got your phone out, and then like you're typing in their details, and it shows the name and things like that. It's typically thieves would rather just snatch your phone than accept some kind of transfer payment. And if you did do a transfer, they would send it to someone that's not them. I hope, but still, that could incriminate the person, whoever they sent it to. So yeah, this happened to me a few times. Actually, what I was suggested, people don't accept bribes unless it's cash. That's what I wrote. And there was a story in Morocco. I made a video on YouTube somewhere, robbed in Morocco, and yeah, luckily I had cash. This is when I was a newbie traveler. This kind of situation couldn't happen to me as a more advanced traveler. But when I was new to traveling, I would showcase wealth. And in a previous video, I probably talked about like I had a camera. I had it before I was really into photography, and I had a DSLR, some kind of Nikon camera, and I had it on my chest. It wasn't a case, but it's still it's showing wealth. Then I have a big backpack, and I'm walking with a gold chain on, walking with my girlfriend, just looking like a fool. So fortunately, I had cash, and I got away. I'm not going to tell the story, but I got away with just paying about I think it was $7, $7 to $10 worth in Moroccan dirhams. I think they used. I can't remember. Yeah. So yeah, 100 dirhams was what I gave him. I'm reading it. I'm reading along here. To us, it was a minor loss, but to him, that was a day's wage, and they would continue and continue. So obviously, these scams and schemes, you're less likely to be affected by them, especially if you've consumed my content or you're a more experienced traveler. Yeah, we also had iPhones with us, and I had a DSLR Nikon camera. So imagine what would have happened if I didn't have cash. And I did mention in the video I created on it, like the guy was slim, like as an experienced martial artist from a very young age, I could have obviously defeated him or knocked him out, whatnot. But again, I was with a woman, and when you're with a woman, you're typically more vulnerable. I'm not about to run or fight and put her in a situation or make any situation worse. She could be more at risk. Just imagine if you're with a child, like you wouldn't do certain things. You can't run, you can't fight because anything can happen. Yeah, there was another time I wrote in West Africa where I was being harassed by the police and I didn't have a local currency with me. So instead, they took my driver's phone. They thieved his phone. I didn't have the local currency with me, and that was my mistake because I was taking a long journey. And like, what does it take? It's very easy for me to. I was taking a long journey, and I just didn't have any cash. And I had the thing is, I had British pounds on me, but I wasn't about to give them £10, £20, £50, whatever I had in my mind. Unfortunately, I got away without paying anything. You know what? I say that, but I kind of tipped the driver £10 when we got to the destination. So if I had maybe just some petty change in a local currency, I probably could have got rid of them. And they were harassing me, took me in their car and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to add here as well that a man and a woman, a couple, are more vulnerable than a man by himself. Of course, there's power in numbers. A large group of women or a large group of men would be better protected overseas. So, yeah, this is just me expanding on the point that I just made. So, we were misled by a Moroccan who pretended to be friendly and was leading us somewhere to buy things, only to turn around and switch on us. If I was there by myself, I had several options. I could run, he wouldn't catch me because I'm a trained sprinter, by the way, or I could knock his lights out. He had no weapons in sight. However, since I had my woman there, I couldn't do any of those things, and we were in his domain. That's a very important point. He knows the terrain. Maybe he can shout something and someone comes running. I don't know. I had no choice but to give him the money. I couldn't expect her to run with me, and I wouldn't put her safety at risk where I had to fight. So sometimes you know what's interesting because I don't follow people overseas now. If somebody guides me, I say, no, I'm not interested, or like there's always some kind of transaction. So I mentioned something I didn't like about the Moroccan hospitality. I'm not bashing Morocco by any means. We had a great time. But was the hospitality was quite transactional. And in general, all relationships are transactional. But I would prefer to pay up front, know that I'm paying for a service, and then we're going to have no issues, right? Rather than expecting, like, even if you just asked us nicely, hey, could you support, like, I brought you here, I took you this, I probably would have, like, I wouldn't have been stubborn. Like, yeah, man, people are funny because we ask, do we have to pay? Do we have to pay? They say, no, 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 don't worry, don't worry. But, like, just have a service, bro, that you can make money. But yeah, that's the video. The next video, hold on, I'm actually going to merge this into this video because I've got very small notes on this. So yeah, you have to ask yourself what the average salary of the place that you are in. It's very important to know that. Because if you're in the US and let's say, I don't know what the US average salary is, but maybe it's like 24,000. I don't know. But having an understanding of the amount of money the average person is making will allow you to maneuver and understand the environment that you're in a little better. So I always recommend finding out what the average salary is of the country you're in, not necessarily the country, of the city, of the environment. How much does the average household make? Look at the quality of living and the standard of living of the people in the environment so you have a good understanding of the worth and value of money to the citizens. If the average monthly salary is 20,000 X and you're spending 20,000 X a day, you're way off. If the locals can survive on X, so can you. Living abroad does not need to be expensive. This is a huge misconception. And yeah, this reminds me, like when I got to Jamaica for the first time, I got there with my dreads because my mindset was like, I can't have all these dreadlocks and not visit Jamaica like once. So I did a tour of the Caribbean islands, Barbados, Trinidad, Panama, just St. Vincent, hopping around and things like that. So yeah, my mindset was I got there, and when I got there, I was like, the taxi driver who was taking me to my Airbnb was like, "Yeah, I got weed with me." He was showing me the weed in the car. Like these guys have two business. He was showing me the weed in the car, and I was like, he was like $30, and I'm like $30 type. Like, what are you talking about? First of all, you're talking to me in USD. Like these man just assume that man comes from the US. They're talking to me in USD. I know this is not what the Rasta man smokes. I want to find what the local Rasta man is smoking, and I know it's gonna smoke that shit as well. You know what I'm saying? So that was my mindset. And then later I found out, I kid you not, for less than $1 I could get a gram. Like I was so high. Jamaica was still my best trip ever. I was so high. They were selling the security man sells it, the shopkeeper sells it, everybody sells it. The only thing don't like, because at that time I was smoking. I don't like to smoke. And Jamaican weed, this is not a video on Jamaican weed, but the Jamaican weed was phenomenal. I didn't get any weed hangovers. I smoked it so pure. I'm not a mixer. I don't mix my weed with tobacco and things like that. Yeah, I just got it was just amazing. So that's what you need to know. Don't get duped. Like think, okay, would a local do this? Would an average person do this who lives in the city? If the answer is no, then you already know that you're doing up tourists. And these videos are not really for you to be doing up tourists.